Now, a reading from Isaiah chapter 19, that the time will come when God will allow Egyptians to rise against Egyptians, and many problems are going to come in chapter 19 of Isaiah, and Ezekiel 22 to 29 almost is full of that about Egypt in the future. This question, I need to take a little time to explain two sides. One is the political side, and the other one is the religious side of what is happening. I believe in Tunisia, in Egypt, in Yemen, in Jordan, and other countries. And it seems that the goal of the people who are behind these riots is to reach Saudi Arabia and the Gulf and the other countries, and not to leave any stone unturned. Algeria started, and they have lots of problems there. Libya is not far away from that. South Africa is not far away from that. And that's what we're talking about, leaders, is that things have changed in the last few years. People, I'm going to use my life as an example, but 20, 30 years ago, we used to have one ticket called around the world ticket, one world ticket, and we fly from New York, for example, to Los Angeles, to Hawaii, and to Australia, and then we go to possibly Singapore or Manila, and then India, Pakistan, Beirut, Lebanon, come back and pay $1,200. Exactly. That ticket today, you will not get for $10,000. And we asked the airlines why. They said the price of gas after 1973 and the war in Gaza between Israel and Egypt, they used the oil as a weapon to stir up Europe and America against Israel or whatever. And so the prices went up to $35. They reached $70. And after the Egyptian problem, now they reached $100 or more. We used to fill the car with gas in America with 25, 29 cents a gallon, which means every liter was only less than 10 American cents. Now it is $4, $3. And with the prices of $100 for a barrel, it will be $4 in America. Things have changed. Prices have changed to produce food, and to be in a farm, and to run a tractor, and to bring your food on a truck, and to bring it to the market. Things have changed. So the government lost control over basic commodities which human beings need. Eggs, yogurt, milk, meat, bread, lettuce, cucumbers, fruit, vegetables. And they lost control. I don't use people words, by the way. I just want you to know that I try to speak what I believe God teaches me or put in my heart. And if I hear something, I would say somebody said. I said many times before, there is a new colonialism. And it's not by military and control, it's by money. And I said that in meetings all over the world. For you African leaders, you need to wake up to that reality. America and Europe and the world have been a blessing to Africa and the Middle East. No question about that. They brought roads, education, progress, planes, cars, education, medical technology. We are indebted to Europe. I am from the Middle East, and Jordan was a colony of England. We cannot deny that colonialism brought progress in many areas. But at the same time, they also benefited themselves by taking the riches of Africa and the fruit and the flowers and the ivory from the elephants and lots of animals and all of that. So it's been a mutual benefit. My fear of colonialism today is this, two things. Number one is the leaders, as I said before, I want to bring the point again, that leaders who were under colonialism have that spirit of slavery, like they're a slave. I mean, in respect, if I speak to somebody cleaning my room in the hotel, I say, thank you, sir. I do that. I say, thank you, sir. And I give him a tip. Because I respect the human being. Although he works in a hotel to clean the room. There's nothing wrong to say, yes, sir. But if you say, yes, sir, with a slave attitude, you are not able to rule or lead and teach others with dignity and respect. The second part is that the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund system, rich countries who have given loans, France, England, Germany, Norway, America, and many other countries, Canada and others, I believe they're treating some of the countries of the world almost as slaves. This is colonialism. Not with guns and soldiers running all over the place, but with their money. My dear brother, and I want to say to you, dear friends everywhere, when the representative of IMF or World Bank comes to countries, they are almost feared more than if the president of the country of America comes to visit. And I'm saying this with no apology. The World Bank and the IMF, International Monetary Fund, are not having mercies on the countries they give loans to. They are demanding, like for example, in Jordan, there was no sales tax. It was added, it was very small. From 6%, it went to 13%. And I spoke to one of the government leaders. I said, what are you doing? 13% sales tax, when in America the highest sales tax is 7 or 8%, 6%, and some states have no sales tax. And now it is 16%. Why is that? Get taxes so you can pay your loans to the World Bank. And countries are controlled by the World Bank and IMF. And many of them have no control. And we know from the Bible that the one who borrows is a slave to the lender. That's what the Bible says. So these countries have become slaves. Lots of these loans, they're buying weapons to fight each other. Civil wars, like in Ivory Coast and other countries of the world, and what has happened in Rwanda, and what was going on in other countries in Angola and Mozambique, and all these wars and all these weapons and bullets. These countries became poor. And now they're trying to cope up with the prices, so everything has gone very expensive. The problem is the salaries of the people, the income did not rise to match the prices of the food. If I go to Jordan, they complain. If I'm calling Egypt to ask them how much is the food, they said, we cannot buy bread even. The rent of the places that used to be 50 pounds in Egypt, it's now gone to hundreds. The salary of a person could be paying only for his apartment. How is he going to live? How is a soldier in Jordan or a police officer or a government worker that gets 300 dinars survive with 4 children when the rent of his apartment has become 200, 300, and the parliament in Jordan passes a new law that the rent should be increased or allowed to be increased? People are going to be in the streets sleeping. That I blame the government for. Jordan, Israel, Egypt, South Africa, Kenya, all over the world. You government people are not caring for the poor.